Well, hello there, and welcome to episode 216 of the FlameFlash.net podcast. We're here on a Sunday afternoon. Hi, Mordecai. You're tired.
Yeah.
You didn't sleep well, did you?
Nope.
I was up early. I barely napped. I think we're both tired.
Yeah.
This is not sponsored. I'm sipping at an Alani because, well, energy. Because as far as launching right into it, as far as what we've been gaming, I have been doing a um, D&D stream for the last week, basically, over on Twitch, um, hosted by somebody called My Lady Saito, MiladysYSYTO. So we're playing a game called Trapped Tears. It's D&D 5e, and it's a horror theme for Halloween. We're leading up to Halloween. So the game is running from, I think we're on day 6 or 7 at this point. Yeah, it started last Sunday.
Hmm.
And it's been running every night. I haven't been there every night, but I've tried. Um, so there's another game tonight. And that's really what I've been doing gaming wise pretty heavily because I slightly regret signing up for all of the nights I did, but I've been having a blast. It's eaten a lot of time. I know you've been playing some World of Warcraft,
Yeah.
and you have been the hero of the hour and going and killing the Headless Horseman and getting more of the stuff. Um, because you've been getting more of the transmog, right?
Yeah.
Playing anything else?
Um. Not really.
Fortnite, right? A little Fortnite.
Yeah.
And then yesterday, actually, to celebrate Fox's birthday, we went to a barcade,
Mm.
and there were quite a few activities. We also went. A Thunderer is handing me random objects. We also went to a arboretum, and so it looks like she collected a rock from said arboretum, and there was a duck grab the duck game from like a crane game that it seemed to actually let you play until you won. A duck with like a sundae on their head, maybe ice cream on their head, maybe.
The cupcake one didn't have eyes, so I drew them.
And then she drew eyes on the cupcake one. Okay, we'll call it a cupcake. A reading duck, and then a pair of mohawk ducks. So, and that was like 3 polls. You got 2 on one of the polls, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I remember you played Super Mario Brothers Versus as the first arcade game
Mm.
there.
Yeah.
Foosball. You try to. What do you think of the OG Donkey Kong?
Um. The controls were hard.
The control. Yeah, I tried it out myself a little bit later, and it was so insensitive. Like later ports of the Donkey Kong game
Mm.
would honor the fact that, oh, you grab the hammer and so you're just going to kill everything you come up to, regardless of the fact that, oh wait, your hammer's up and the barrels come at your head. Like it was that sensitive, so you had to time it right to come bring the hammer down on the barrel, or else it's just going to roll and smash you in the face.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the old one?
I was talking about the old one, yes. Which I barely ever played the arcade version. So it was neat seeing it and trying it out in person. Skee ball, What do you think of skee ball? Because that's kind of your first attempt or your first experience with an arcade for the most part, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like we've been to the bowling alley that has a little small arcadey area, but it's so tiny it's not really worth it.
Mhm.
So what do you think?
It was fun.
Cool. Back in my day, they were all over the place.
You did it.
Thank you. Um, let's see. And you tried out one of the racing games, or was that your brother, Sleepy?
That was both of us.
Oh, that was both of you. Okay. What do you think of that one? Because that was Outrun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And pretty sure I got farther than he did.
What do you think of the fact that the whole machine would actually shake, though?
It threw me off.
Like they've tried to emulate that, in current controllers and things with Rumble and whatnot, but the old school, the machine is shaking you as you hold the steering wheel is pretty wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then foosball,
hmm
um, and then some various pinball games.
The Dungeons and Dragons one was my favorite.
Did you register like with the app or not?
No.
Oh, well, that's a shame because then you can save your progress.
Mm.
You can actually return, put more quarters in, and it'll return or it'll bring back the character that you had. So there's a benefit to scanning the app. So these are newer pinball machines too. For there to be a QR code reader built in and for an app to be tied to it. So that's pretty neat. Others, I remember seeing the group that we were with for Fox's birthday play NBA Jam.
Mm.
And I think Fox's team won, which was a little surprising, but good on them. Um, any other standout games from that week or from yesterday
Not really.
in the arcade? You're just so tired. My poor boy, Sleepy.
You're mine.
He didn't sleep well. But well, we'll bounce over to current events then. Did you happen to see anything stand out to you on TikTok or anything news related?
Not really.
Not really. Okay. Well, first off, then we'll launch into somebody left some comments, so thank you for that. Unfortunately, um, Gage, it seemed like you were listening and leaving comments as you were listening, but without any timestamps. So while you probably had some interesting points, most of your comments just kind of fell flat and became nonsensical because there were no timestamps, there were no complete sentences. We have no idea what you were actually responding to. So, thank you for coming, Gage. I appreciate it, but I don't know a lot of what you were actually replying to. Now, what I did pick up was that you were commenting on the Nobel Peace Prize, and yet referring to the run for 25-26's Peace Prize when I was referring to 24-25's Peace Prize. So I'm not sure where the miscommunication there was, but you're right. The Venezuelan president in hiding did dedicate her Peace Prize win to President Trump, but as is well known, he is so easily manipulated. Like,
Yeah.
so somebody dangling a I dedicate this prize to you even though I'm the one that won it, that's her clearly trying to get his attention and get him to move on Venezuela in such a way that it would be a positive outcome for her. So this is like Qatar all over again, giving Trump and breaking the emoluments clause a jet, a replacement Air Force One, and then the United States goes and declares that Qatar is now under the protection of the United States. So if you attack Qatar, you're attacking us. Kind of like what we do with Israel and Taiwan. So that's clear manipulation, attempt at manipulation. Please look at me and do the same thing kind of situation. So, I mean, you're right that she did dedicate it to him, but there's obvious ulterior motive that he'll probably fall for. I mean, right now the news indicates that we have the United States has one of the largest military naval presences in international waters in South America, just outside of Venezuela, than it has in years. So something's going on. Something's about to go down. Who knows what? Probably an illegal war. But um, Gage went on to comment that is it no kings if let's see, I can't believe a king can be stopped from doing what he wants. It's almost as if he isn't a king. Well, that's the thing, Gage. He's not being stopped. With things like the White House, where he just dives in and does it so fast that he can't be stopped, where he has these extra judicial, probably breaking international law murders happening with Venezuelan fishing boats. He claims that they were carrying drugs, but he's the only one that's claiming that. We have Venezuelan citizens going, "You killed my brother. He was a fisherman." So, with the boat being literal shrapnel and flotsam on the water, there's no proof. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to believe the Venezuelan citizen, over President Trump, given President Trump kind of has a, I don't know, long track record of lying and caught in lies. Like, even the White House lie of, I'm not going to demolish the East Wing. The East Wing is important. The ballroom isn't even going to touch the East Wing. It's just going to be extra. And suddenly, there goes the East Wing. What? You can just go and look up the sound bites. So the No Kings rally is very valid in saying you should not be acting like a king, President Trump. It's not okay for you to be acting like a king. Stop acting like a king, please. Signed, 7 million plus citizens of the United States. There it is.
Yeah.
So you're right, Gage, that he's not a king yet, but that's what everybody is protesting about. That's what everybody's angry about, that he is acting as a king in as many places as he can, in as many places as he can get away with. That's the entire point. So hopefully that came across, because I'm trying to piece together your point based on your comments. I appreciate that you did comment. Just some timestamps or something. Otherwise, I mean, you go personal attack with, oh, you're talking to your kid and trying to brainwash your kid. It's like we're having a conversation. The entire reason Mordecai is here and join me on podcasts, which you might not know because you might be new, and welcome if you are, is because he had questions about the news, about current events. And I decided, well, let's turn this into content. Let's turn our conversations. Usually it was conversations while cooking dinner.
Yeah.
And you'd come to me with questions. You'd come to me asking about what was going on in the world, some TikTok you saw, and I would explain it because I have a master's degree in the field. So, sorry, Gage. This is educational, not brainwashing. Good try, though. That's one of those common tropes that somebody who, especially on the right, disagrees with teaching
Hmm.
will claim it's brainwashing or some other negative connotation term to just claim, oh, I'm not being fair and balanced. I would love to be fair and balanced, and I try to be fair and balanced, but when Trump's murdering people in international waters and not presenting any evidence, it's hard to be fair and balanced.
Yeah.
If he would send the Coast Guard, forcibly board these boats, and oh, look, there's the proof. I am sending these people back to Venezuela as citizens, and I am taking the boat. I am confiscating the boat as evidence. That would be a fair way to go about this, not missiling the boats from distance and murdering. There are other ways he could prove the truth of the matter, but because he's literally and purposefully destroying evidence, air quotes, if there is any, there's nothing to discuss. There's no ability to be balanced because he's breaking international law. This isn't brainwashing, it's facts. And that's unfortunately another one of those things that the far right enjoys doing sometimes is getting their feelings hurt with facts and not countering with any actual facts of their own. So
Yeah.
I appreciate this teaching moment, Gage, and I am certainly willing to engage with you more. Pun intended. Thank you, Mordecai, for smirking at that. I need some better context of what you're talking about or where you're going with some of these things.
And also, I just want to point out, I'm 17 and have my own thoughts and opinions.
Yep. If you disagreed with me, you'd let me know.
Yeah.
And it would be welcome and it would be valid and we would have a discussion about it. And I can be wrong.
Yeah.
But
Something you can admit, but the far right can't.
oh, yeah, exactly, bud. Oh no, my brainwashing has been successful. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Yeah, critical thinking is not brainwashing. Just saying. But
Some teachers at my own school thought that anything LGBTQ or disagreeing with Trump was a sin, or I forgot the word already.
so, if you didn't hear Thunderer, some teachers believed that disagreeing with Trump or being open to the LGBT was a sin.
Mm-hmm.
So let's put that in perspective. Disagreeing with Trump or being okay with LGBT is a sin. So the teachers put those two things next to each other. I'm sorry, but one's just having an opinion, and the other is scientific fact.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we go as far as two male lions out I forget where because it's a meme, so it need to be fact checked. It would need to be fact checked. This is a meme. I'm going to stress that. But two male lions were supposedly seen performing mating actions, and the observers of that wildlife preserve claimed that the male lions were copying gay actions of humans.
I'm going to grab something.
So, again, we would need to verify the contents of the meme to know if it actually happened, if the quote was real, that kind of thing. But it happens in the wild.
Yeah.
So it is very clearly a natural occurrence. When you go back to the biblical passages and get closer to the original translations of why, say, Sodom and Gomorrah were smited, it wasn't gay actions, it was child abuse actions.
Hmm.
In the 1940s, to justify going after the gays, especially in Nazi Germany, the translation was corrupted to include gay individuals, when the original was more akin to adults doing inappropriate things with children.
That sounds about right.
So you can't fully lean on the fallible and sometimes manipulated um, translations, human translations of the Bible, because it does change over time. You have to go farther back.
I found the page.
Meanwhile, in nature, 25% of black swan pairs are male and male. Most bonobo primates are bisexual. 10% of rams have same-sex attraction. Several dolphin species engage in homosexual acts, just to name a few. This is from the book Queer Chameleon and Friends. So thank you, Thunderer. I would assume that the author had to do the research to get that published. So they had to have pulled from actual statistics. We got way off base, off the beaten path.
Yeah.
But just, you're welcome to come back, Gage. I would love to engage with you more. Um, for instance, you're just wrong, in my opinion, about the Republican clean CR, because the entire point is, if that was passed, that's punting.
What does he mean by offer the completely clean CR?
A continuing resolution is what the CR stands for. Completely clean means there's no extra riders or um, other things in the bill. It's just, let's keep the government open to November 21st.
What bill are we talking about?
The government shutdown.
Ah.
So the entire point is, a clean CR simply punts. It's not doing any real work. And that's the entire point that's missed. And what I was saying last week with the Republicans hold the House, they hold the Senate, they hold the presidency. They need a supermajority to pass the Senate. They need votes from the Democrats to do that. So therefore, they should be finding compromise to get it done. Not just going, oh, it's a clean bill that punts, and we'll just have a new deadline this way. No, it's punting. It's putting it off. It's procrastination. As you have learned with your homework, procrastination is bad because then you just fall further behind.
Yeah.
And for the Republicans to fail, and I'm going to say it, to fail to push through the Senate something that will get enough Democrats on board to vote for, like I said last week, means they should go back to the drawing board. Speaker Johnson should bring everybody back, and they should actually be negotiating and having conversation. But instead, Speaker Johnson is allowing the House to be out of session and refusing to work. Like if something doesn't pass because of how our system government is, you should go back to the drawing board and work on something else. Negotiation should happen. And the fact that the Republicans are refusing to negotiate. The Democrats have said, we're not going to vote for the clean CR because it has nothing to do with rising medical costs for families that's due at the end of December. So they're looking out another month past when the clean CR ends. They're looking out to where families are going to start getting their open enrollment letters in a week and going, hey guys, this isn't okay. These families need something now so they can make a decision. Republicans' jobs are therefore to meet somewhere in the middle because they have the majority of the power. They should be offering the Democrats more than something clean, quote unquote. So the Democrats are the bottleneck, but because the Republicans control all three spots, and frankly, they control all three branches at this point because of how the Supreme Court is packed. They should be doing more. They should be trying more. The fact that they are not is the problem. So I'd love to engage with you more and figure out how and why you feel it's only the Democrats' responsibility to capitulate in this situation. But the entire point of politics and the entire point of our system of government here in the United States is to have a back and forth, to have negotiation. And when the Republicans say our way or the highway, and Democrats say, but what about this? And Republicans' response is, we're not negotiating, everybody go home. It is clear in my mind whose responsibility, whose feet the responsibility of the government shutdown rests at. The Democrats have said, and you get AOC and Bernie going on various talk shows saying, we'd love to negotiate, we'd love to talk about this, we'd love to sit down, but everybody's gone home. Then you get Speaker Johnson getting nailed in various interviews with lies. Like, for example, oh, well, the Democrats are pushing for illegal immigrants to get health care. No, they're not. That's illegal. Under Obamacare, it's illegal. So what you just said is a full outright lie, Speaker Johnson. I'm sorry. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Get back to the house and do your job. That's where it lands. And speaking of the no king, so thank you, Gage. Oh, look, President Trump is acting like a king again. Um, he's denied federal disaster relief to Vermont. So Vermont has had some flooding recently, some pretty catastrophic flooding.
Oh,
Yeah. And so they went, hey, can we have some federal cleanup dollars, some FEMA dollars? Help. We need help. So Vermont is considered a blue state.
Hmm.
And President Trump has said, nah, you're a blue state. I'm going to deny you aid. Meanwhile, Alaska has also had some flooding, is considered a red state, and has received aid. So
isn't that discriminatory in some sort of way?
it is discriminatory, and it is very king-like for President Trump to go, nah, y'all have ticked me off. I'm not going to help. Oh, look, Alaska, pat on the head. You're being good and you're red and you agree with me, so I'm going to help you out. That is very king-like. It is very arbitrary.
Sounds like it.
Whereas President Bush, President Biden, President Obama, just naming some random presidents that came before, the color of the state didn't matter. They would help regardless. They would send FEMA regardless. Katrina, back during, I believe, the Bush administration, I'd have to fact check myself. Um, the Katrina hurricane, it mostly probably hit red states actually because the South is pretty red. But if it was President Bush sitting in the White House right now, he would have helped. Because he never had any desire to be king. People might disagree with some of his stances, some of his policies, but he at least acted within the rule of law. You could respect that where he was coming from was simply because he thought he was doing what was best for the country. With President Trump, it's more what he feels is best for himself.
Sounds about right.
And there's that clear distinction between the two, clear difference. I remember voting for President Bush back in 2000, for example. Like, I have gone for both parties. I have voted for both parties because I'm not a yellow dog anything. I go with the platform.
Didn't you once say you basically use your master's degree and just vote whichever makes most sense?
I vote with my conscience. It has nothing to do with my master's degree. It is encouraging everyone to vote with their conscience. Now, I fully respect those that voted with their conscience and voted for President Trump because they don't like abortion. They don't think it should be legal. It's an opinion. It is a moral judgment. We may disagree with it, but they went single issue voter and therefore voted for Trump. You know what I mean? Like, I see your face and I know how much you disagree with the pro life stance.
Yeah.
But you have series running in the background and you have a right to that stance just as much as those that disagree with you have a right to their stance. The problem is, and the moral problem that you see, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that by the pro-life group forces their moral stance on everyone, whereas the pro-choice group, the anti-abortion group, because they're not pro-life or they would do other policies elsewhere.
Yeah.
Let's reframe this. While the pro-choice group doesn't push their stance. If you have a moral code that says, I am not going to get an abortion, period, you have that choice. Whereas the anti abortion group says, our moral standings, our moral ideals override your moral ideals. Right?
Right.
Which is actually rather libertarian of you. It's leave everybody alone. It's everyone should be allowed to make their own moral judgments. Law should be there to resolve disputes that can't be resolved through just person to person conversation. Right?
Right.
Oh, look, I'm brainwashing him again.
Like, I saw a pro-lifer on TikTok say well, my brain is just tired right now.
Fair.
I saw someone in a TikTok comment section say, would they personally have the abortion? No, absolutely not. But if their friend wanted it, they wouldn't judge and they would support them.
See, that's not an anti-abortion individual then. That is still a pro-choice individual.
Right.
And that's the memo that some pro-choicers or some anti-abortioners don't seem to comprehend.
Right.
My rights end where another person's begin. So this subset of the single issue voters saying, because my opinion is this, I am going to vote for President Trump to try to force my opinion on everyone else, that's what morally sours it for you, right?
Right.
But it is a valid reason to vote for somebody. That's why we have elections in the first place. That's why Roe v. Wade got overturned, because Trump was elected and selected Supreme Court members. There's a snowball effect. That's why the presidency is as important as it is. And while it's distasteful, it's still a valid opinion. Well, the validity of the opinion is questionable, right? Because
Right.
of the morality of forcing one's opinions on others. But it's still an opinion.
Right.
It's still a value judgment, and they are voting based on their value judgment. But the unfortunate thing is, in value-based judgment voting, they have now voted somebody in who also wants to be a king and is acting like it.
Yeah.
Regardless of the fact that the courts are stopping him here or there, he is still trying to act like a king. Sorry, Gage.
Oh, I actually noticed my TikTok comment got deleted on something.
Okay.
Um, it was a TikTok basically saying, just close your legs and don't get a abortion. And I just made a comment like, what if someone does bedroom activities responsibly with protection, and that fails, I feel like they should get the right to a abortion if it fails. Not even a minute later, it gets deleted.
Was it? Did you get any kind of an alert? Like, was this from TikTok deleting it, or was this the
It
commenter or the owner of the video?
it was the owner of.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, valid too. Like, if I wanted to, I could simply go and blot out Gage's partially nonsensical. Sorry, buddy. Give me some context next time. Comments, but I don't really see a need for it.
Right.
Meanwhile, those on the far right frequently, when they get their feelings hurt, even though they're supposedly also the party of the First Amendment, I enjoy the irony that they're also the ones that get the most bent out of shape usually. Like, to be fair, those on the far left will go after, say, a comedian or somebody who is being inappropriate to a marginalized subset group. More because, hey, you're bullying this group. This group is already marginalized. You're basically encouraging bullying to this group. The comedian still has the right of free speech, but the comedian only has a right of free speech to the point that the government can't come in and slap them around for it.
Right.
So the fact that President Trump is refusing to help Vermont is a direct violation of the First Amendment, because the government cannot punish. It's only the government. Others can punish other people for their speech. Let's be clear. Like when poor Mr. Kirk was assassinated, people were getting fired for their public comments. That is valid. That is consequences of your public comment. Those that can't go after is the government. That's the only thing the First Amendment protects you from, is the government. Us speaking with criticism toward President Trump, that means, assuming the First Amendment holds and he doesn't fully become a dictator in chief, we have the protection. Likewise, though, that means that Vermont should have received FEMA funds even if they were blue.
Yeah.
Trump is directly violating the First Amendment. That's where the First Amendment comes in. Those that have the opinion of abortion that are different from yours, they can state those opinions. If they state those opinions in public and they get fired from their job, as long as they don't work for the government, that's perfectly valid. They can be fired.
Yeah.
Because it's not the government. So, just some further examples there. Otherwise, I think, for the most part, we've hit the large bits. We are now in the second government shutdown, longest government shutdown in American history. The first also is held by President Trump in his first term. So congratulations, President Trump, for now being, in your own words, a weak president 2 times in a row and holding the record 2 times in a row. Congratulations. Hopefully the House and the Republicans are willing to negotiate soon. Because at this point, this clean CR, it's kind of moot. November 21st is as far as the clean CR goes. So really everybody should be showing back up because the November 21st dead if Democrats came back tomorrow, October 27th, and said, fine, we'll pass it. They only have until November 21st before the government shutdown happens again.
Right.
So it is pointless at this point. The clean CR is moot. We need to go back to the drawing board and pass something longer than a continuing resolution. We need a real budget. We need a real plan that will get us through the entire fiscal year, not just punt the problem down the road. So the continuing resolution is garbage at this point, in my opinion. I mean, others may disagree, but business day wise, I mean, just looking at it, if they pass it tomorrow, we'd have 5, 10, 15, we'd have 20, give or take, business days before, I'm probably way off, let's say 15. We have 15 business days before they have to do another one. So why not go back to the drawing board? Or better yet, bring the House Republicans home or back to DC, pass a let's pay everyone bill, and actually get a real budget passed.
Yeah.
But boom. Problem solved. Done. Oh wait, we're actually not there to, pass anything. If I had the power of fiat, that's what I would do at this point. But thank you, Gage, for stopping by. Do you have any more thoughts?
Not really.
You want to go take a nap?
Yeah.
Because we're possibly going to be playing Civ 7 tonight. So Mordecai wants some energy for Civ 7.
Yeah.
And I'll probably be doing D&D and Civ 7 kind of concurrently. So wish me luck. But with that being said, if you want to join Gage in leaving comments, YouTube, Ducks, email, podcast at flameflash.net, and YouTube, and the blogs. Leave comments. I should see them. Call it out if I don't see them, because I probably just miss them. I'm human. I have other things going on. We have Cat now. I'm distracted by Cat. He's curling up in Mordecai's lap. You're not going anywhere. Haha. Plus, I need to get dinner started so that, it'll be early, but that way it's done before anything actually starts.
Yeah.
And you're already hungry anyway. Okay. Thunderer is already hungry anyway.
Yeah,
So
I'm hungry too.
I'll process this. You go nap. I'll summon you once dinner's ready.
Cool.
So with that, leave comments. Comments are welcome. I appreciate you, Gage. Please clarify what you were trying to say on some of your comments if you want, and we can re-engage next time. I'm sorry that I keep making puns of your name. It's just it's too. I know I've made that joke like 5 times at this point. Thank you, Thunder. It's too accommodating of an opportunity, so I am taking full advantage of said opportunity.
Tomato.
And Thunderer is now throwing imaginary tomatoes in my general direction in protest of the bad jokes. So
you're engaging in the opportunity.
There we go. Thank you, buddy. But it's not with malicious intent, Gage. It is friendly intent of a back and forth, and that's. So I am sorry if you are taking it personally. It is certainly not meant that way. Oh, and the cat decided to yeet himself Excellent. So with that, I'll process the file and get things going.
Live with honor.
And remember, freedom and autonomy are the right of all sentient beings.